The Dark Knight was released in 2008 as Nolan's second film of the Batman series. The series is based off the DC comics and follows a narrative of good versus evil. However, the character Batman isn't always in the right. In this film, the antagonist is known as the Joker, which is one of the most infamous Batman villains from the comic. The film has multiple subgenres including crime, drama and thriller, but mostly fits the action genre. The opening montage is a series of camera movements from different angles of a building where the protagonist of the film is stood. Once a camera movement has established the scene, the screen fades to black. This fade to a black screen is coupled with the sting in the dramatic, non-diegetic music which is playing. The dark, low-key lighting and the positioning of the protagonist at the top of the building couple to further illustrate the action genre of the film. Despite not being able to see the face of the protagonist as he is very loosely framed, an over-the-shoulder shot illustrates to the audience that we are on his side.
Where do we?
As the film institutions appear on the screen, there is a dark tint over the images. This isn't often done in films. The institution labels are often left without any editing. Another example of a film series which has a dark effect over the film institutions is the Harry Potter series. As the film series progresses and the nature of the film gets darker, the institution's label continues to get darker. Having this dark label on the film institution goes against the conventions of a typical film. This indicates that the film has been recognised to be very dark in nature.
Begin. A year ago,
The lighting in the next shot then becomes a natural high-key lighting as a high-angle crane shot establishes the city. This movement is fast-paced and looking down on a large amount of armed officers in a group. This creates a juxtaposition of having a natural warm light, but having a high-angle crane shot makes a group which should seem powerful seem weak, as the camera is looking down on them. In addition, there is then a montage of mid-shots focusing on what the audience assume to be the main characters in the film. This is coupled with a voiceover narrating the plans of the antagonist of the film, the Joker. Whilst the camera shows the faces of the other characters, the audience are first shown the Joker from a tracking movement coming from behind the Joker. Only seeing the back of this character initially indicates that he has a mysterious and intriguing quality. It also confirms that this character is the antagonist. Furthermore, it is unconventional for the antagonist of the film to narrate or explain what their plans are directly to the audience. This highlights that the Joker subverts the stereotype of being disliked by the audience, but despite being classed as insane, the audience is supposed to like this particular character.
Simple. Kill the Batman.
Despite having a dark theme in terms of soundtrack and lighting in the opening section of this trailer, the narrative itself remains to be calm and uneventful until the line,
Kill the Batman,
is delivered. On this line, the trailer establishes the dark theme of the film, along with the theme of violence and murder, which is convention of the genre action. Following the line, Kill the Batman, is another shot of the group of armed officers in the city centre. The angle which this shot is taken from is still high, but not as high as it was initially. The characters in this scene are frantically running, which is coupled with a faint sound of diegetic screaming. However, the screaming is overpowered by an asynchronous cackle from the Joker. Within the wide, high-angle shot, American flags can be seen to be hanging from the surrounding buildings. The use of this prop coupled with the high-angle shot and frantic behaviour of the civilians in this scene imply that there's a threat to the country. This is conventional of a typical action narrative.
Here's my card.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not.
In contrast, apart from the main narrative of good versus evil present in the trailer, there is also a side narrative of a potential love triangle between three of the main characters. These scenes contrast the main narrative of action and violence. The contrasts are shown through the use of a warm artificial lighting and the red dress worn by the female, suggestive of romance and seduction. These moments offer light relief in the trailer and attract another type of audience to seeing the film, the romance subgenre.
You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for a normal life.
The theme of insanity is explored within the trailer. This is shown through the behaviour and choices made by the character, the Joker. The character has an entire face of face paint with a smile painted across his face. This couples with the use of asynchronous cackling from the Joker, which plays at various moments within the trailer to suggest that he is getting a thrill out of being the villain. Furthermore, the theme of insanity is further explored through the exchange of dialogue between the female and male lead.
Don't make me your only hope for normal life.
This addresses the fact that not only the antagonist of the film is being represented as insane, as the protagonist is described as
Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
who is looking for a normal life. This is an unusual dynamic to represent both the antagonist and the protagonist of the film as being insane, as it is usually just conventional for the antagonist to be represented as insane or not normal. This draws attention to the film having a very prominent theme of insanity.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
The pace of the music quickens throughout the opening of the trailer until the Batman character is probably visible in a slight low-angle shot, making him seem powerful and dominating. There is a stab in the music along with a diegetic sound effect of smashing glass, which happens as a Batman lands on the car, all of which further contribute to the powerful representation of the protagonist. Despite being in the centre of the frame and demanding power in the scene, the Batman's identity is still unclear at this point in the trailer. The screen then cuts to black. The following scene juxtaposes the idea of identity being kept hidden, as during the black screen the Joker narrates with an asynchronous sound of
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
This line illustrates a spectacle taking place and that the character is playing up as if his victims are an audience. This creates an opposing characteristic between the Joker and the Batman, which further demonstrates the theme of good versus evil and mental stability, which the trailer explores.
Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
A series of jump cuts are used showing the Joker moving towards the female lead in a menacing and dominating way. The character comes across as a sleazy, drooling male looking at a female in a seductive way.
Hello, beautiful.
This attitude towards the female further demonstrates the target audience of this film being male, and reflects the male gaze theory. As there are two strong males as the antagonist and the protagonist of the film, this female comes across as a damsel in distress.
Now it would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming.
A montage of clips show the turning point of the trailer. The clips used highlight the danger present in the film and the initial response to realising the danger. There is a constant beat in the non-diegetic music playing. As another beat sounds, there is a change in scene. The trailer is cut to the music. The music used replicates a strong beat, possibly representing a quickening heartbeat as the danger levels are rising. The music stabs at the revealing of the Batman suit, the resolution to the danger and the narrative.
And here we go.
Finally, the Joker says the line,
And here we go.
as the long shot coupled with an amplified sound effect reveal the exposure of a knife. The knife and the delivery of the line mark the beginning of the montage, which shows the danger and battle between good and evil, which is prominent in the action genre and the film trailer. The montage depicts a battle between the Joker and the Batman, exploring the main theme of good versus evil. This section of the trailer really highlights the target audience for the film, middle-aged men. This is shown through the violence, the high-tech vehicles and the use of slow motion of a flying truck. Playing throughout the montage is the famous Batman theme, along with amplified sound effects of guns and explosions. The cutting rhythm of the clips are also very fast-paced, much faster than it is at any other point in the trailer. This is another reason why this montage attracts the male target audience and belongs to the action genre of the film.
Will you be wanting the back putt, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.